Done. I hope I'm audible. Uh, Very good morning to you, all of you. Respected Professor C.P. Agarwal, Head of the Department of Computer Sciences and Applications, Professor Sunita Dwivedi, who is coordinating this program, Professor Maheshwari ji, who is also the Director of ASI, Dr. Manoj Pacharia, Dr. Ravi, Devesh ji, and all esteemed faculty members, technical team, participants, students, scholars who have all assembled here today. Though this is a very serious subject, cyber security, and but I'm really glad that not because I have come, it could have been anybody else, that the AICT in its wisdom and the government in its wisdom, even as part of the national education policy, has decided to include life skill management as an integral part of all the courses. I think this is very important. I think it is part of the interdisciplinary approach towards education that this government has taken and which finds reflection in the National Education Policy 2020. Because often we tend to see life through a very narrow prism. Often we tend to look at life through our own tinted glasses. Perhaps this is one opportunity when we all come together, do some introspection, even when we are dealing with cyber security. But the issue is, the topic is life skill management. Can there be anything more serious than life itself? Because that is what brings us all together on the same planet as human beings. So that is one common link between all of us. We may be in different positions, belonging to different countries, following different faiths, speaking different languages, but if it is one thing that unites us all, it is that life, which brings us all together. In my last lesson on life skill or experiential life lessons, I told Professor Agarwal, when he insisted that I speak, I think it is for the first time that somebody has made me speak. That credit goes to Professor Agarwal. I consider certain things innately private, and I generally avoid. But then I think it is the first time he made me speak on certain issues which what has shaped me as a human being. And I'm not a life coach, I'm not a guru, spiritual guru. I am an ordinary human being who has, come from a different circumstance like each one of us has come. And I don't know, materially, in terms of certain positions, I have achieved some small things here and there. But I thought that, since this is more an academic platform, and academically, when you become a vice chancellor, you are believed or considered to have reached the zenith. So I don't consider it that important. But still, I thought that let me share how I look at life. So from that perspective, I shared in my last lecture also. I am told, I hope that Professor Agarwal did not tell me to make me happy. He always keeps everybody happy. But I hope that he says that some positive feedback has come. So that encouraged me to accept Sunita ji when she came and said that you have to take one session. I thought that I'll share some thoughts with all of you today. Let me begin with a small incident which happened 2 days back. I believe that as I said, I consider myself a student throughout, a student of life. Every day I am learning some lessons. I learn my lessons 24 into 7 into 365. I said in the last session that every day before going to bed, I keep my eyes shut and think about the whole day. I review the whole day. Like I review every program in the university. Every day of the program I review. Similarly, I review my day. Because that day is gone. Yesterday is a cancelled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Today is cash. How can I make the best of that today? That is only possible when I analyze my yesterday and plan my tomorrow. 2 incidents in the last 2 days again made me think. 2 days back, when we were having the orientation session that Professor Trivedi was referring to, suddenly everything collapsed. The power went off, the Zoom link collapsed, the Facebook Live collapsed, and I was giving instructions from the stage. I was on the stage. I was the dais. Within few minutes, everything was restored. Subsequently, one of my young staff members came and met me. Said that, sir, we have seen earlier also things happening, but we saw that you did not lose your temper. You were not angry, you did not shout, you were pretty calm. Why? How? How can you do that? I mean, you could have fired everybody there. 6 people were trying to manage, nobody was able to manage. You could have, scolded all of them. I asked him, how does it help? They will get into a panic mode when the Vice Chancellor starts publicly abusing them. Will that help in any way? But when they know that I'm giving them support, I'm giving them ideas, you bring this, now you bring a charger, you bring a USB, UPS, you bring these things. So I'm trying to help them in that situation rather than putting them into a panic situation. So he went a little deep and asked me, sir, how does that happen? I said that it happens when you are detached. It may sound a little difficult. Bhagavad Gita has this very beautiful term, Sthita Prajna. I don't think that many people say that, Bhagavad Gita, many things are easier said. So whenever somebody dies, you have a Gita part, So all those things, life is like this. And then you have something called Shamshan Vairag. At that time you feel life has no meaning. This thing. And once you are coming out of the cremation ground, you start hitting the fellow who has parked the car opposite your car. So that is that short-lived. But Sthit Prajna is a sthiti which Bhagavad Gita says that, is the ideal situation that everybody should possess. In my life, I have tried, and it's my constant effort in my spiritual quest. I am not deep into meditation and all that, But in my life, I keep constantly making this effort because I have experienced that Sthit Prajna situation makes life a lot easier for you. And if anybody asks me, what is it that, even in the most difficult times, we see you smiling? My friends tell me we are yet to see any photograph with a frown on your face. We have searched all over the net, but always there is a smile, even at night. after a hard day's work we find that. How does it happen? I say it happens because I try to be Sthit Prajna, which is you are not very immediately, I won't say I am not at all, I am a human being, but I don't immediately get swayed by developments. It doesn't impact me, either happiness or sadness or anger or hatred. It doesn't immediately come, somebody says, sir, this is happening, this is what he said about you. I just say, okay, gee. I don't immediately react to situations. To me, that is being Sthita Prajna. I don't immediately, shout back and all that. No. I patiently, listen. And I think that this helps a lot. Because often it is our reactions that create problems for us in life. How do we react to a situation? Because when you believe that what you are destined to get, nobody can snatch it away from you. And howsoever hard you may try, if it is not destined, you will not get it. Then life becomes much easier. So, it really does not impact me much if somebody... So what is it? It is not being indifferent. That is a fundamental difference we need to understand. It is being detached. Now, does it mean that I have become a saint? No. I love the good things of life. People who are on social media with me, Instagram, Facebook, I share good food. I love good food. I love traveling. I love adventures. I've walked under the sea. I've enjoyed all this. Yes, I do it along with my work because I enjoy my work also. It's as simple as. I don't, there is something called, some people say that work-life balance. I somehow don't agree with this term. Because work is an integral part of life. How can you divide work as separate and life as separate? Can there be life without work? Karmanya vadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. Karma. I am a karma yogi. And for me, I cannot think, it is inconceivable. When there are 3-4 days continuous leave, I ask my staff, what will I do? 3 days. And when there are continuous 3 days leave over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, I have made it a rule that I come on Friday at least. If it is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I come on the Monday. I say that no, Saturday, Sunday is good enough. I can't be just sitting at home. How long can you, how many films can you watch? How many times can you go to the market and bring vegetables? How much of WhatsApp and video calls can you... you need to work. Nothing gives me more... Some people call me workaholic. Dr. Sunita Dwivedi say that I work for 14 hours a day. I'm not working, I'm enjoying. I don't consider it separate. If I don't do that, I will feel frustrated. If I don't work, at home, they say that, if he doesn't work, he will fall sick. He will fall sick. Please let him work. So, my doctor friends never advise me to rest. They say, please work. You will be okay. Because that is the mantra I always did. When I lost my parents in a gap of 6 months, and I would say I just started working. I was down for a few days. I said, what is happening here? Then I said that, what am I doing? Just let me concentrate all my energies on my work. And believe me, it was pure magic. I got so involved in work that the death of my parents stopped haunting me. And by the end of the day, I was so tired. I used to get so exhausted. that I would just hit the bed and sleep. And that somehow got me addicted to work. Because when I'm enjoying work, it's not a pain. It's not something that I need to look at the watch, oh, when is my work ending? This is my life. So I'm enjoying. If I don't do that, then I think that I will be in trouble. So, that sense of detachment comes, as I said that I enjoy these things, but suppose I don't get it. Believe me, it does not matter to me. It will not matter to me. I can do with very simple food also for months together. I can do without any party for months together. There will not be any craving inside me. That no, I need to go for this. Oh, it's been long. Oh, it's 2 months. My family is in Delhi and I am here. I have not met them. No issues. When I get the opportunity, I will go. I'm doing a work and I am totally engaged with that work. Then that they don't come in the picture, In the evening, once I reach home, I call them on video and talk to them. That's it. And that's enough for me. So it really does not, so that sense of, and when I am with them, I go out, we travel to different places, even if it is just a couple of days, we enjoy, we watch movies together, and that's it. Next day I pack up and leave. I don't carry my tensions home. I lock them in the drawer and go. I don't take it to my bed. If there are problems, obviously if I am leading an institution, there will be administrative, human relation related, human resources related problems. They will always be there. So, but I don't carry them to my bed. Once I am over with it, finish my work at 8 o'clock or 8:30, that's it. Then I am in a different mode. Now, this is something that sense of detachment. If that attachment is there, that office will continue to haunt you even at night. Oh, my colleague, why did she say that? Why did he behave like that to me? That will keep me, oh, I should have got that promotion. Why did the boss praise him and not me? These issues keep haunting you all the time. But once you switch it off, that switching off is the detachment. I'm not attached to this. I have been to worked in so many organizations. Once I have come out of that organization, I have never looked back. When I was I was the Director General at Indian Institute of Mass Communication. I took it to a new level altogether. I turned it into a deemed to be university. I established all its campuses, brand new buildings. When the buildings were almost on the verge of inauguration, I designed even the gate. But the building does not bear my foundations, my inaugural. Somebody else is going to do it. It really does not matter to me. I did my job and moved on. Now that sense, oh, what is happening there? Now that building was designed me, but somebody else is inaugurating it. It really does not, matter to me. I did my job. That has given me immense satisfaction. That is that sense of, but there are people, believe me, who are still, they may have left the institution several years back, but they are still bothered about what is happening in that institution. They keep a check, they keep asking people, क्या हो रहा है? कैसे चल रहा है? कोई problem है क्या? They want to know. When they come to know that there is a problem, then it gives them happiness, vicarious pleasure. Oh, प्रॉब्लम्स हो रहा है नए कुलपति को? You know, people take interest. I know that. I laugh at it. This is attachment. जो गया है उसके बारे में क्या सोचना है? वहां क्या हो रहा है? It is none of your. It was never. It did not belong to you. Why do we start appropriating things? It did not belong to you. Can you claim even ownership of the children you gave birth to?
Oh my God.
Their life is different. Their life is different. It does not belong to you. You cannot say that, oh, I produced you, so you will live this way. Can you tell your kids? No. They say, go to hell. The moment they are conceived, they are independent citizens. The moment they are born.
Since conceived.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You have given a new life. That new life has its own, sanskars. It has its own background. That soul has its own background. Once life has come into it, it's independent. How can you claim, ownership of that? You are only a facilitator. The moment you start considering yourself as the owner, the problem is that we start having ownership of everything, Then it starts giving problems. अरे मेरी बिल्ली मुझ पर नहीं आओ. अरे उसकी जिंदगी है भाई, उसको जीने दो ना. But that is that sense of what is detachment. Gita makes, some people make it very tough. It's not at all tough. It is once you realize that no, there is nothing यार, ठीक है. आज ये 4 साल के लिए कुर्सी मिली है बस. कितने आए कितने गए, मैं भी आया हूं. कुछ अच्छा काम करके जाऊंगा तो लोग अच्छा याद रखेंगे, नहीं करूंगा कोई दिक्कत नहीं. That is up to you. How do you look at it? Why are you so attached to that chair? No? That, oh, this is my chair. Then people have a problem when they don't get an extension or things like that. Because your professional life is not just dependent on you. It depends on a lot more people. You may have done the best of your effort, but your boss has not taken to it kindly. अच्छा, बहुत स्मार्ट बन रहा है, अपने आप को बड़ा 30 मार खान समझता है. अब देखते हैं इसका कैसे प्रमोशन होता है. So all your work, then did you do that work to get promotion? Or did you do it for your satisfaction? That when I got that opportunity, I worked. I'm not doing it for promotion. If I get promotion comes as a corollary, great. If I don't get it, I did not do it for, the problem is I do it for promotion. The problem is I do it for extension. The problem is I do it for more favors. I am doing it for others. When I am doing it for myself, I don't get dejection at all. The problem is when I do it for others. If I am making food, that this is the way I prepare food. I love making food. I passionately make food. But if it is that my child should feel, oh, what a great mama or what a great papa, made such, maybe the child doesn't like it at all. When I go travel somewhere, obviously there are many places where the family won't be able to come with you. So you buy something. Why did you buy? Because it gives you satisfaction that you went abroad and you got something for your kid. But sometimes you feel that when you show it to them with all happiness, देखो, सर ये पता नहीं क्या लेके आए. They may not feel satisfied at all by what you have got. It was not the color of their choice. It was not the texture of their choice. They did not feel good. So you feel disappointed. इतने डॉलर्स खर्च कर दिए और उसके बाद भी खुशी नहीं है चेहरे में. तुम उनके लिए नहीं, तुम अपने लिए लेके आए भाई. You got it because you wanted satisfaction. it gave you satisfaction. That is it. So that is sense of detachment. Why are you attaching everything to everybody? कि इसके लिए मैं कर रहा हूं, इसके लिए कर रहा हूं, अपने लिए कर रहा हूं. That takes care of a lot of problems. You know, I lived my younger days in a predominantly Punjabi dominated society. Most of my time I have lived in Delhi. Manoj Pacharia knows Delhi very well. There is a joke. The joke is that there is a fire. I'm sure there are some Punjabi friends in this, among the participants also. So the joke is that somebody goes and tells this Sardarji that Darji, आग लगी है. So Darji says कि कहते कि आग लगी है. कहते कि किथे? कहते कि उत्थे आग लगी है. तो he says कि his typical response is सानू की आग लगी है तो सानू की. तो then this fellow says that दाजी ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ. तो he says ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ now this ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ and ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ is often cited as an example of selfishness. But this is ultimate selfishness. तो मैनू की और ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ की. But I think that this is the perfect example of detachment.
Anasakti.
This is the perfect example of detachment. So we keep bothering all the time about what others are thinking about, you know. अरे वो क्या सोचेगा मेरे बारे में, क्या सोचेगा. मैंने तो उनको नमस्ते किया था, उसने नमस्ते. अच्छा, मैंने नमस्ते किया था, मैंने अपना ड्यूटी किया. मुझे नमस्ते करना था, मुझे अच्छा लगा नमस्ते करते हुए. बट द कंसर्न इज नॉट दैट. उन्होंने नमस्ते का जवाब नहीं दिया. अच्छा, वो 4 लोगों ने देख लिया था कि उन्होंने मेरे नमस्ते का जवाब नहीं दिया, मेरी तो बेइज्जती हुई. And we get into so many things, you know, complex things. I did my duty, yeah. Whether to respond or not, what's his problem? And what others think is none of my problem, you know. Sanuki. But I keep bothered all the time. All the time I am bothered about it. Because what others think. I did what I wanted to do and move on. I gave this example in my last lecture also. I generally don't repeat, but this is related. About Bodhisattva. When along with the disciples he was crossing the river, there was this young woman who was unable to cross the river. So he picked her up and, crossed the river. Those days bridges were not there. So you would cross wherever the river is shallow. So he crossed the river and kept the lady there and put her down and he kept walking. This disciple, one of his disciples, became silent after that. So after 1 week, this man was constantly silent. So the saint got a little perturbed. He asked him, Baba, tum kahe ko chup kyun ho gaye? Why are you silent? You are no more talking for the last 1 week. No, Guruji, I was thinking of something. Yes, what is bothering you, my child? He said that, sir, you have always advised that we should keep away from women. But you carried that woman. So Bodhisattva said, I carried that woman 1 week back and put her down after crossing the river. But you are still continuing to carry her. You are still carrying her in your mind. I put her down, but you are still carrying her. We often keep carrying things. You know, we don't put down things. We keep carrying it. उसने मेरा उस दिन ये इंसल्ट किया था, वो मैं कभी भूला नहीं. उसने इंसल्ट करके निकल भी गया, वो भूल भी गया. उसको शायद पता भी नहीं चला होगा कि उसने इंसल्ट किया है. आपने उसको इंसल्ट इंटरप्रिटेशन दिया. वो अपना जिंदगी जी रहा है. I gave another example of how a family friend, he destroyed his life after he separated from his wife. He ruined his life by all the time just drinking and drinking and drinking, boozing and boozing and boozing. But the lady got married, had children, she continued with her life. You stopped. Your life became static. It became stagnant. It started, and when water becomes stagnant, it starts breeding mosquitoes. Let it flow. Life, let it flow. You know, and that is what brings me to this next incident, which again made me to think and ponder over. That was the unfortunate demise of the Chief of Defence Staff. And that I was reading an episode today in which his personal security officer, PSO, he wanted to take premature voluntary retirement. His family also wanted that. So this PSO also died along with the CDS. So the CDS, he had told the CDS that, sir, I want to take retirement. But the CDS told him that 2024 में तो मैं खुद रिटायर होने जा रहा हूँ as CDS. दोनों साथ में रिटायर करेंगे. मैं भी रिटायर करूंगा, तुम भी रिटायर करोगे. साथ में हम रिटायर होते हैं. And it would have become a beautiful story. The CDS and his personal security officer retiring together. But that was not to be. Life is so unpredictable. So, when life is so unpredictable, why are we all the time planning, bothering, concerned about our future, what will happen 10 years later? मैं अभी ये करूँगा, 10 साल बाद ये होगा, 15 साल बाद मेरा वो होगा. Almost half your time is spent planning for the future, which is so unpredictable. You do not know whether there is a tomorrow for you or not. You do not know. When you go to bed, you are not sure whether next day morning you will wake up or not. And when you wake up, the first thing you should do is to be thankful to the Almighty, to say, thank you God, you have given me one more day. You have allowed me to see the sun, the glory of the sun, the beauty of the stars, to feel the fragrance of flowers. You have given me one more day to see the beauty of the rainbow. One more day in that life. But what do we see when we get that one day? Are we looking at the glory of the God? Are we looking at the might of the sun? Are we looking at the beauty of the rainbow? Are we looking at the moisture that you see on the leaves and the plants? Or are we looking at ये बदमाश, इसने मेरी जिंदगी नरक कर दी? Looking at my neighbor बड़ी गाड़ी लेके आया है, जरूर एक्सीडेंट होगा इस गाड़ी का पक्का. What are we looking at? How are we spending our day? Start looking at the good things of life. At the cost of repetition, I say count your blessings. Keep counting your blessing. God has been so kind to you. I had the blues that I had no shoes until upon the street I met a man who had no feet. Am I looking at that? Let me assure you, when you look at that, I consider honestly why I smile. Let me tell you the secret today. The secret is that I feel blessed that He has given me so much that perhaps I did not even deserve. Whatever I have got is a bonus. When I look down at the street, when I see naked children, when I see children who go to bed hungry, I consider myself the most privileged person on earth. That He has given me that resources. What am I complaining about all the time? I did not get this promotion, I did not get this facility, I did not get this. We are all the time complaining. Let us stop complaining. Let us look at all the positive things that life has done to us. We keep thinking about discrimination. I am being discriminated against. On this ground, on that ground. No, you are able to walk on your 2 feet. Think about those who have been denied the sight to see the most beautiful things on earth. Think about those who cannot, run after their small children. Think about those who cannot pick up food with their hand. They have been discriminated against, not you. What is the discrimination that you face before the discrimination they faced? What is the discrimination that you faced? You are fortunate, blessed. Be thankful, God. You have given me everything that a normal human being requires. I am not challenged in my everyday life, to sit, to use the washroom. People struggle to do that, which you consider so simple. You can go to bed and you get sleep. People don't sleep. They want to sleep. They are not getting sleep. They have got money. They have got bungalows. They have got cars, fleets of cars, but they don't get sleep. You get sleep. They take sedatives. They take all these things, but they don't get sleep. You get sound sleep. Be grateful to God for that. We don't value the small things of life. Because we have got it. We have taken life for granted. We have taken life for granted. Oh! I get power supply, I get water supply. If the power is not there, the backup is there. Look at places where there is no electricity. Children who have to light the candle to study. They don't have, if for 1 minute my data goes, I'm mad. We shout, why I'm not getting the data? You are talking about data. They don't get 2 square meals a day. How much mad they should go. Imagine. They don't have a roof over their head. How much mad should they go? I smile because I'm privileged. I smile because I am blessed. If in spite of getting all these things, if I am still I have a frown on my face, I am still complaining, I am still desperate, I am still disgusted, then the problem is not with anybody else but with you. You have a problem. You have a problem. Why me? Everybody should be smiling.
क्या
Everybody. We should all be smiling. Why not? I'm not talking about on those grounds that when you cry alone. When you laugh, the world laughs with you. Because then when you say that, then you are laughing to show somebody else. When you say, when I laugh so that the world laughs with me, I am laughing to show the world. I can assure you I am not smiling to make the world smile. I am smiling because it comes from within me. It comes out of a sense of gratitude, it comes out of a sense of satisfaction, it comes out of a sense of happiness, it comes out of a sense that God has been kind to me. That gives me that smile. Everybody is struggling. People all have their problems. Who doesn't have? Who he is born has a problem. Ask the Ambanis, they have so many problems. To deal with the governments, deal with the corporates, deal with the employees. Everyday problems are there. In big corporate gharanas, you have kids fighting for property. Superstar SRK, his son was in jail on a drug consumption charge. Everybody is battling life in their own way. So having money doesn't mean that you are privileged, you are happy. So material goods cannot be the sole, source of happiness. It cannot be the source. I'm not saying that it has its own way of fulfilling certain material requirements. Yes, that is also required. But don't be attached. That is all. The attached is that tomorrow it is not there. So long as it is there, fine. I've got a car. I'm enjoying that car. Today I can afford to put the fuel in it. I can afford to get the, car serviced. So I'm driving it. Tomorrow if it is not there, I'm not able to afford it. Fair enough. I'll take the metro. I'll take the bus. No issue. Attachment is when I cannot live without that car. Oh, my car. Oh, my car. I'm all the time bothered about that car. That is when the problem comes. I don't, get attached to things. I don't have the sense of ownership that I am their owner. Yes, they are with me right now. Tomorrow they may not be with me. Isn't that with our closest relatives, our friends? Our closest friends may not be our closest friends tomorrow. Our parents, our kids, they may not be there with you all the time. Not necessarily death. They cannot be. Children might go and settle down in some other country. You may not be able to see them for years together. You may get to see your nasty neighbor every day, but not your dearest children. So what are you attached to? So I think that, to have 5 more minutes? I've got?
We have 1 more hour, sir. We have 1 more hour.
No, I can keep talking like this.
Sir, it's only 12 o'clock. We have 1 more hour. Am I right, Sunil?
So, anyway, I won't take much time, but I don't want it to be, you should not feel bored. The participants, they have come for some enlightening session from some guru, but these are things which I have from my own experience. Honestly, I think that I have learned these lessons over a period of time. Life has taught me these lessons. I have realized them, not by reading any book. Believe me, I am not a great reader of religious or spiritual texts. Whatever I say, even in public domain, my lectures are not based on great readings. I have read from that very big, huge, voluminous book called Life. Because there is so much in that. There is so much in that book that every day you read, you learn something new. The moment you meet somebody new, then you are learning something new. And there is so much to learn. So, I think it is important to have that wider vision of life. And it comes not just from reading, but also meeting a lot of people from diverse backgrounds, listening to their stories. I try to interact with as many people possible as I can. And I learned so many things from them that perhaps no book can teach me. You meet all kinds of people. They have their own life stories. Stories of struggle, stories of success, stories of failures. And that is what, you find that it really, surprises you that what all people go through. You cannot imagine. And then you realize that that maybe you were a little more fortunate, you were a little more lucky. Otherwise, when we tend to meet only with people with problems, so you don't end up having solutions. You need to meet a lot of people who have found solutions also. Otherwise, all of them come, sit, abuse each other, their boss, their superior officer, then they go back after the evening. Next day again they meet at the club, sit, abuse, go back. That becomes a routine. It becomes this habit becomes your prakriti, your nature. At sitting, abusing, complaining. Okay, let me keep doing my work. I will just conclude by this very small story. And that is, I used to have he's still a businessman friend. So, since long time back I have known. Now, his driver often would come because we used to be good friends. So if there is something special prepared at his home, he will send across his driver with that special item. Or if he has travelled somewhere, he has brought some chocolates or something special, he would send it across. or if he has gone to some religious place, he will send some prasad. Tell the driver, साहब को देके आना. So his driver would come. And I've been seeing as a driver for the last, more than 2 decades. One day, I don't know, he had come in the evening. I was asking him, और साहब ठीक है? I said, जी साहब ने भेजा है आपके लिए. I said, एक बात बताओ, तुम इतने सालों से साहब के साथ, somebody being part of a company is different. We also have our university drivers who are, since the beginning. But for somebody to work in his somebody's organization for so long, is really, and that not organization, individually, personally, personal driver, personal servants. That reminds me of another story also. I will tell you that story also and then conclude. So, I said कि क्या तुमको कुछ मिला है क्या? I asked him. Just like that, I was in a mood to talk. I talked to everybody. said कि साहब पत्थर को भगवान माना है तो कभी तो प्रसाद मिलेगा. Very simple, ordinary person who has not, who is not very well educated, things like that. साहब, अगर पत्थर को भगवान माना है तो कभी तो प्रसाद मिलेगा. Recently I came to know that after this COVID thing, my friends' children were, my friend used to run an iron foundry. His children got into different businesses altogether. They were not interested in, iron foundry koi kaam hai kya? They went into different businesses. Some went into chimneys, some went into auto rickshaw manufacturing, all that. But he was so fond of his, because he said that मैं जो कुछ भी बनाऊं इस आयरन फाउंड्री से मैंने शुरू किया था. लोहे के गेट बनवाना और all that, small time kind of that. So then he said कि when his children refused to take, कहते पापा बेच दो, कहते बेटा बेचूंगा, but at the same time I cannot run it anymore. I am old too. Then he called this driver. तू देख लेगा? He said कि जी साहब देख लूँगा. चल तू देख ले. Today he is running that iron foundry. And I met him recently. तो I just asked him कैसा है? सर कि साहब मैंने कहा था ना प्रसाद मिलेगा. So he finally got the prasad. So this is that positive attitude towards life. Let me keep doing my work. I found this story to be an epitome of what the Gita has spoken about, karmanya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That, your duty is to keep working. Leave the fruit to him. That should be the approach that we should have in life. And a lot of stories keep coming to my mind. It is important that we, maintain long-time relationships. Sometimes with the passage of time, we also move on in the sense that some friends we feel that are no more, as successful as I am. They are not worthy of my company anymore. Let me move on further. I was watching an interview of Salim Khan Sahab. Salim Khan is Salman Khan's father. So in that interview, Salim Khan was asked कि एक अच्छे इंसान की परिभाषा क्या है? And he gave a very interesting answer which generally people say लोगों के अंदर ये अच्छाई होनी चाहिए जो किसी का बुरा ना करे, and all that blah blah blah. But Salim Khan said something interesting. He said कि मैं उसे अच्छा आदमी मानता हूँ जिसके पुराने नौकर हो और पुराने दोस्त हो. He said कि आमतौर पर, and that brings me to another story I will tell you. Because I consider myself a storyteller. He says कि कई दिन बाद लगता है कि अब तो हम हायर लेवल पर पहुंच गए, अरे ये नौकर अब इस लायक थोड़ी है. एंड नौकर means all employees and all that. And when you move on, and the other is old friends, as I said. And I used to be a struggler at that time. This friend was okay. Now my company is elite and all that, so he is no more worthy of my friendship. It is only people who are grounded who maintain these relationships. Because being grounded helps. Because I have always believed, and this is scientifically established, science says, and that is what Newton also said, the law of gravity. Everything that goes up has to come down one day. So if your clock is at 12 today, it will come down to 6. So जो चीज ऊपर जाता है उसको नीचे आना ही पड़ेगा. हवाई जहाज इस वक्त आप 32,000 फीट की ऊंचाई पर आप, पायलट कीप्स टेलिंग यू, थोड़ी देर बाद 2 घंटे बाद आप कह रहे यार अब नीचे उतार. इतना ऊंचाई पर हमेशा रहेगा. जरा इमेजिन one flight says that now we are not going to touch down. So it's always better to always remember this, that we have to remain grounded. And the last story is about an opportunity. I hope that more stories don't come to my mind. This is when a father is about to retire. A father is about to, he's a huge, big businessman. He dies in fact. He decides, his son takes over. And when he takes over, he makes a new rule that all the servants in my home will be minimum graduate. Old servants I talked about. Minimum graduate. Otherwise, he will be chucked out. And he chucked out everybody. That included an old loyalist cook also, who was only matriculate. This is a story from Europe. So that matriculate, he is thrown out. He says that I have served you all these years. Please retain me. I make the best of food. He said, no, I don't need you. I will get some hotel management graduate. I don't need you. Go out. He goes out, sets up a small restaurant. And that restaurant becomes successful and he sets up another restaurant. And within a decade, he has restaurants all across Europe. He becomes the owner of the leading chain of restaurants. Obviously, then the media follows him and interviews him, Forbes and all these, big business fortune. So he is interviewed. He is asked about his chain of hotels and all. Then, sir, you are only a matriculate. With being a matriculate, you have achieved so much, sir. Just imagine if you were a graduate, what would you have been? He said, a cook. I would have continued as a cook. He would not have dismissed me and I would have continued all my life as a cook if I was not terminated from service. So life sometimes gives you, you consider that, oh, this is a curse, but that could be a blessing in disguise. So don't be pessimistic. I will conclude with a small spiritual story, because these stories keep motivating. Once a man reaches Vaikuntha. When do you reach Vaikuntha? The lotus feet of the God is when you go to the heavenly abode. He meets the Lord. So the Lord says, how are you? So he says, I'm upset. He said, why? No, I have struggled a lot in my life. He said, no, let me draw the picture for you. Let us see. So he draws the picture of his life. And then it shows the path, so footprints of his life all along. So right from childhood, there are 2 feet, his own padchin footprints. And along with that, there are 2 other feet also. 2 हमारे और 2 और, वो भी साथ में चल रहे हैं. So he keeps looking at it. And then there's a difficult period over which he has been cribbing about, crying about, life has struck. So then in that, he doesn't see. So then he asked the Lord, ये पहले 2 पैर किसके हैं? कहते कि ये तुम्हारे पैर हैं, तुम चल के आ रहे थे ना. कहते कि उसके साथ ये 2 पैर बचपन से लेकर, मेरे पैदाइश से लेकर किसके हैं? कहते कि मेरे. क्या? मैं तुम्हारे साथ चल रहा था ना. हाँ, साथ चल रहे थे. ये देखो, ये मेरा उस उम्र का ये फेज है. ये सबसे कठिन फेज था मेरे लाइफ का. उसमें सिर्फ मेरे 2 पैर हैं, मेरे ही 2 पैर हैं. तुम नहीं हो मेरे साथ, और तुम कहते हो कि तुमने मेरा साथ दिया. तो ही स्माइल्स. कहते तुम मुस्कुरा रहे हो? कहते बिल्कुल, क्योंकि वो तेरे नहीं है, वो मेरे पैर है. मैं तुझे गोद में उठा के चल रहा था.
What a reason. What a gratitude.
मैं तुम्हें उठा के चल रहा था. वी ऑफन फॉरगेट कि उस डिफिकल्ट पीरियड में भी वो हमें उठा के चल रहा है. ये इमीडिएटली से, अरे किसी ने साथ नहीं दिया, क्या भगवान, क्या कुछ. So if we are able to come out of the worst situations, it is because someone has been carrying us on their lap. ये हमें लेके हमेशा याद रखना चाहिए. And well, life is such that one can go on and on, but these things बहुत ज़्यादा होना भी, हमारे यहाँ एक कहावत है which says that अधिक होने में अमृत भी विष होता है. So I thought that some thoughts, I think I have not repeated much of what I said in my last session, but I have tried to share some of the philosophies which guide me in my personal life, which has given me satisfaction, happiness, strength, courage in my life. I have tried to share those thoughts with you. I hope that at least 1 or 2 episodes might have been of some interest to you. But since this is on experiential life lessons and life skill management, I thought that at least for the younger lot, there could be some learning, so I thought of sharing it with you. I wish to thank once again Professor C.P. Agarwal and Dr. Sunita Dwivedi and their entire team for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts on life. And I've shared only what I have believed in and I live. I have lived these thoughts and I continue to live and I will continue to live these thoughts in future also. On that note, thank you everybody. Wish you all happiness, success in your life, and I'm sure that this cyber security FDP has been, you see, the conclusion is with an azan, so I think it should be good. So on that note, thank you so much. God bless all of you.